Did you know that some everyday habits could quietly shorten your life? As we enter our 60s, 70s, and beyond, the focus on health starts to evolve. It's not just about doing more, whether that's adding supplements, pushing harder in workouts, or establishing new routines. More often, it's about cutting back on the things that harm us. Sometimes, the most impactful changes aren't from what we start doing, but from what we stop doing. In this video, we'll explore 10 things that, by simply reducing, could help you live longer, feel better, and conserve your energy for what truly matters. These aren't extreme changes, nor are they based on trends or fear-mongering. They're grounded in common sense, real experience, and what health experts and longevity researchers have been quietly advocating for years. From habits that slowly wear down your body to mental patterns that chip away at your well-being, these 10 things are more common than you might think, especially in older adults. The good news is, they are all changeable, often with just a shift in mindset and a little courage to make different choices. So, if you've ever wondered why some people stay strong, sharp, and vibrant well into their 80s and 90s, this might help explain it. Stick with us until the end because the 10th one might completely shift the way you think about your habits and give you the permission to live a little lighter starting today. Let's dive in. Number 1. Constant worry about small things. Worry often sneaks into our day unnoticed. A small thought here, a what if there, and before you know it, your mind is spinning over things that have already passed or haven't even happened yet. While some level of concern is normal, constantly stressing over trivial matters can become a quiet, long-term harm to your body. It impacts your sleep, digestion, heart health, and even your immune system. And here's the kicker, most of the things we worry about never actually come to fruition. After the age of 60, many people start to realize just how much energy they've wasted on mental noise, such as worrying about others' opinions, stressing over minor setbacks, or ruminating on things outside their control. As this realization sets in, they start opting for peace instead of panic. Not because the world is suddenly safe, but because they understand the importance of protecting their own mental and physical health. Research consistently shows that chronic stress accelerates the aging process by shortening telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA that play a role in cellular aging. But even without the science, you've probably felt the effects in your own body, the tension in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the restless thoughts at 3 a.m. that prevent real rest. Letting go of constant worry isn't about becoming careless, it's about being more selective. You start asking yourself, is this worth carrying? Is this worth my peace? Over time, you build the habit of redirecting your thoughts, choosing calm when your instinct might have been to choose chaos. People who live long and vibrant lives often share one trait: they've made peace with not controlling everything. They focus on what they can change and learn to breathe through what they can't. This shift, this subtle release, adds years not only to their life but also to its quality. Number 2. Prolonged sitting without movement. One of the most subtle but damaging habits that gradually impacts our health as we age is something we rarely give much thought to: sitting. And not just a little sitting here and there, but extended periods of uninterrupted sitting. Whether it's watching TV, reading, driving, or working at a desk, staying still for long hours quietly slows down blood flow, weakens muscles, and promotes inflammation throughout the body. It may seem like a minor issue, but over time, the consequences can be significant. Health professionals have even referred to it as the new smoking, and for good reason. Sitting for long stretches has been linked to conditions like heart disease, diabetes, stiff joints, and even premature death. Here's the twist: regular exercise doesn't fully compensate for it. You might take a morning walk, but if the rest of your day is spent sitting, the harm still adds up. What matters more is the frequency of your movement, not just how long you're active. Many older individuals, particularly those in retirement, fall into a pattern that feels peaceful, but in reality, it's quite sedentary. A bit of TV in the morning, a meal, then more sitting in the afternoon, maybe a nap. Before you know it, much of the day has passed with little movement. It's not due to laziness, it's a habit. It's comfort. It's what the body has become accustomed to. But what the body truly needs is circulation, muscle engagement, and regular changes in posture to keep everything running smoothly. Small adjustments can lead to big improvements. Standing up every half hour, doing light stretches while waiting for your coffee to brew, or even taking calls while walking slowly around the room. Just a few minutes of light movement each hour can rejuvenate your system and significantly reduce the risk of chronic diseases. People who live long, healthy lives often share a common trait: they stay active. Not necessarily by running marathons or going to the gym every day, but by integrating movement into their daily routines. Gardening, climbing stairs, walking with purpose, and moving joyfully are all part of the equation. If you're still watching this and finding the information valuable, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and hit the bell to stay updated on new content. Your support helps us continue creating useful and inspiring material for you. Now, let's continue. Number 3, eating late at night. One habit that may seem innocent but can quietly affect your health is eating too close to bedtime. For years, many of us were told that having a late-night snack wasn't a problem. However, both science and personal experience suggest otherwise. Frequently eating late disrupts digestion, raises blood sugar levels, and interferes with the body's natural healing process. Your body needs time to unwind. After the sun sets, your metabolism slows down, and your organs switch from an active state to a recovery mode. When you eat late, especially rich, fatty, or sugary foods, you're forcing your body to work overnight instead of letting it rest. This often leads to poor sleep, indigestion, and even a higher risk of weight gain, acid reflux, and cardiovascular issues over time. What many don't realize is that your liver and digestive system function optimally when they are given long stretches without food, particularly while you sleep. This overnight fasting period allows your body to detox, restore hormonal balance, and rejuvenate for the following day. But when you keep eating right before bed, this healing cycle is disrupted. Over time, the consequences can manifest as brain fog, reduced energy, heightened inflammation, and even changes in mood and memory. A simple adjustment, finishing your dinner at least 2 or 3 hours before you lie down, can make a remarkable difference. Some people even notice improvements in their sleep quality within just a few days. They wake up feeling lighter and more refreshed. Interestingly, they didn't add anything new to their routine. They simply stopped doing one thing that had a significant impact. Longevity is not always about discovering breakthroughs or magical solutions. Sometimes it's about paying attention to your body's natural needs and allowing it to rest when it signals. Your body already knows how to heal, it just needs the space to do so. One of the simplest and most effective ways to provide that space is by avoiding late-night eating. Number 4, suppressing your emotions. There's a subtle harm that occurs when you spend years holding in your feelings. For many older individuals, especially those who were taught to be polite, composed, or resilient, this becomes a deeply ingrained habit, maintaining harmony by keeping emotions hidden. However, over time, those repressed emotions don't just vanish. They accumulate within the body, and the effects of this silence begin to manifest in ways that cannot be remedied by medicine alone. Ongoing emotional suppression has been linked to high blood pressure, heart disease, sleeplessness, and even autoimmune disorders. When we hold things in, grief, anger, resentment, fear, our nervous system remains in a constant state of low-level fight or flight. The body remains tense, the heart races, and the stress response becomes a permanent background hum, not an occasional reaction. This doesn't mean you need to become loud or aggressive. It simply means allowing yourself to feel, acknowledging your emotions, expressing hurt, asking for space, or even just admitting that you're not okay. These are not signs of weakness, they're signs of vitality. They show that you're engaged with life, that you're human, and that you're still growing. Some of the world's longest living people share a common trait: they don't hold on to emotional burdens for too long. They find healthy outlets to release them, whether through conversation, prayer, journaling, or even a quiet moment of tears alone. They don't pretend to be unaffected. Instead, they let emotions move through them, rather than letting them stay trapped inside. You might be amazed at how much lighter you feel once you stop pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Your sleep might improve, your shoulders may relax, and your appetite may normalize. When you start allowing emotional honesty, your body responds with trust. And that trust leads to better health, greater ease, and often more years added to your life. Number 5, excessive consumption of processed sugar. Sugar has a sneaky way of creeping into our daily routines. A little spoonful in your coffee, a couple of cookies after lunch, a slice of cake at a celebration. Individually, none of these seem like much. However, when added together over time, their cumulative impact can be far more harmful than we often realize, particularly as we age. The less processed sugar you consume, the better your chances of preventing inflammation, memory decline, and long-term health conditions. As we grow older, our metabolism naturally slows down, and our bodies become more sensitive to the effects of sugar. What didn't bother you in your 30s may now subtly affect your energy levels, spike your blood sugar, and put additional strain on your heart, liver, and kidneys. Because sugar is highly addictive, it's easy to get trapped in a cycle of cravings, even when your body is signaling for less. Studies have linked excessive sugar intake to a range of issues, from type 2 diabetes to dementia. Elevated blood sugar levels can damage blood vessels, including those in the brain, accelerating cognitive decline. For many older adults, this manifests as increased forgetfulness, brain fog, and mood swings. The good news is that cutting back even a little can lead to clearer thinking, more consistent energy, and better sleep. It's not about cutting out every sweet treat, it's about opting for more natural sources, like fruit, or reducing added sugar in items like cereals, sauces, and beverages. Often, simply becoming aware of where sugar hides in your diet can empower you to make healthier choices. When you make those changes, your body responds. Your taste buds recalibrate, and your overall vitality begins to return. Many older individuals who reduce their sugar intake share a similar experience. I didn't realize how fatigued I had been until I stopped. While sugar may give you a temporary boost, it always takes more than it offers in return. Choosing to consume less is not about deprivation, it's about rejuvenation, giving your body the chance to thrive, not just get by. Over time, these small adjustments can lead to increased energy, sharper focus, and possibly even a longer life. Number 6. Neglecting sleep cues. One of the simplest yet most overlooked habits for promoting longevity is sleep. However, it's not just about sleep in general, it's about responding to your body's natural signals when it craves rest. Many older adults tend to push through tiredness, stay up late watching TV, or disrupt their natural sleep rhythm with erratic bedtime habits. While this might seem harmless in the moment, the long-term consequences on your health can be considerable. Sleep isn't just for feeling rested, it's when your brain clears itself, tissues regenerate, and hormones restore balance. Every system in your body relies on consistent, quality sleep, and the older you get, the more crucial it becomes. When you regularly ignore the signals your body gives, like staying up past your natural bedtime, eating too late, or letting screens keep you overstimulated, you prevent yourself from experiencing the deep, restorative rest your body needs. There's a common misconception that older adults need less sleep, but in reality, many get less sleep because they stop following the natural patterns that promote restful sleep. Bright lights late at night, too much caffeine late in the day, or even a racing mind filled with unfinished tasks can all interfere with the calm descent into sleep that your body craves. Paying attention to your body's signals can be as simple as noticing when your eyelids begin to feel heavy in the evening or when your focus starts to wane. That's your body signaling that it's time to rest. By responding mindfully, creating a relaxing environment, limiting stimulation, and getting into bed when your body is ready, you begin to restore a healthier relationship with rest, which will serve you well as you age. Those who live long and healthy lives tend to have strong sleep habits, not rigid routines, but rhythms they respect. They don't view sleep as an inconvenience but as something sacred. And when you adopt this mindset, you'll likely experience more energy during the day, improved digestion, sharper memory, and a stronger immune system. It's not about perfection, it's about being intentional, paying attention to your body's whispers, and having the wisdom to listen before your body has to scream. Number 7. Withdrawing from others. There's an unnoticed risk in isolation, and it doesn't always show up as you might think. It's not just about being physically alone, it's about going days without any meaningful conversation. It's about retreating when you need support and convincing yourself that staying to yourself is simpler than reaching out. The longer you maintain this habit, the more it starts to affect not just your mood, but your physical health and even your lifespan. Research has shown that social isolation is linked to higher rates of cognitive decline, depression, and even premature death. In fact, chronic loneliness can be just as detrimental to your health as smoking or being obese. Yet, it often goes unnoticed because it's easy to hide. It's simple to say, "I'm just tired," or "people are too busy," or even, "I've gotten used to being alone." But even the most independent individuals are wired for social connection. As we get older, especially in the later stages of life, we need those small shared moments to stay both emotionally and physically well. A stroll with a neighbor, a quick chat with a friend, or even a brief exchange with someone in line at the store may seem insignificant, but they carry real meaning. They remind you that you matter, and that you're part of a greater whole. After 60, many people experience a quieter season in life. Children have grown, careers have slowed, and familiar routines have changed. It's easy to drift away from social networks in this quieter phase, but this is when connection is most important. The beauty is that staying connected doesn't have to be difficult. Even maintaining a few steady relationships and having regular conversations can drastically improve how your mind functions, how your immune system operates, and how deeply you experience joy. Those who age well aren't necessarily surrounded by crowds, but they avoid disconnection. They make a point of reaching out, even if it feels uncomfortable. They accept invitations, check in with others, and in doing so, they not only add years to their lives but add life to those years. If you've been withdrawing, let this be a gentle reminder. Someone out there may be hoping to hear from you today. A single meaningful interaction could be all it takes to reassure your body and mind that you're not alone. Number 8. Rushing through meals. In today's fast-paced world, eating slowly might seem like a rare skill. However, after the age of 60, how you eat becomes just as crucial as what you eat. Rushing through meals, eating while standing, distracted, or in a hurry doesn't just interfere with digestion, it can also lead to overeating, poor nutrient absorption, and an increased risk of issues like heartburn, bloating, and even weight gain. When you eat too quickly, your body doesn't have the time to send signals of fullness. This means you might end up eating more than you actually need before your brain catches up. For older adults, this becomes even more complicated as metabolism slows and digestion becomes more sensitive with age. A large meal eaten too quickly can make you feel sluggish, uncomfortable, or even cause disruptions in your blood sugar levels for hours. But there's something deeper at play. Meals are not just fuel, they are moments to pause and connect with your body, your emotions, and the simple joys of life. Eating slowly allows you to fully engage your senses. You notice the taste, the texture, the warmth of the food. You chew more thoroughly, which helps your digestive system work more efficiently. You take a breath between bites, giving your nervous system time to relax. Slowing down at the table isn't about being fancy or extravagant, it's about being gentle with your body, acknowledging that you're not in a race. This mindset extends to other areas of your life, your sleep, stress levels, and your ability to be present rather than just productive. Those who live long, healthy lives often approach mealtime with a sense of reverence. They don't rush through eating, they savor it. Whether they eat alone or with others, they give themselves time to reflect, time to digest. Not just the food but the day. If you've gotten into the habit of eating on autopilot, try taking just 5 extra minutes. Sit down, take a deep breath, and pause between bites. You may find that slowing down at the table can help speed up your healing and is one of the gentlest habits you can form for a longer, more fulfilling life. Number 9. Remaining in toxic environments. One of the toughest realizations we face as we grow older is that peace of mind isn't a luxury, it's essential. Yet, many of us spend years, even decades, staying in environments that gradually drain us. This might involve a relationship that makes you feel diminished, a social circle full of negativity and gossip, or even a home where tension constantly lurks beneath the surface. No matter the situation, your body keeps track of it. Over time, the longer you remain in these environments, the more your health will reflect it. Toxic spaces don't always make themselves known in loud, obvious ways. Sometimes, it's the quiet discomfort in your chest as you walk into a room, the anxiety before a conversation, the poor sleep, or the unexplained changes in your appetite. Chronic exposure to this kind of emotional stress can elevate your cortisol levels, weaken your immune system, and eventually contribute to long-term issues such as hypertension, digestive problems, or anxiety. After 60, your capacity to tolerate such environments tends to decrease, not because you've become weaker, but because you've grown wiser. You begin to realize that longevity is not just about what you eat or how much you exercise. It's about the environment you live in, the emotional atmosphere you are surrounded by. Often, the most vital health decision you can make isn't about changing your diet, it's about who you're spending time with and how those people and spaces make you feel. Change doesn't always require you to walk away entirely. It could mean asserting yourself, setting stronger boundaries, and carving out personal space even in challenging situations. In many instances, though, it involves letting go of relationships or roles that no longer serve you and walking away from places that no longer feel like home. People who age gracefully tend to surround themselves with calm, supportive, and emotionally safe spaces. They know that healing happens faster in peace than in stress, and they're unafraid to choose solitude over conflict, stillness over drama. If something in your life feels toxic, pay attention. That discomfort isn't a sign of weakness, it's a signal of wisdom. Your body and spirit are telling you, we can't thrive here anymore. The less time you spend in such environments, the more room you create for healing, clarity, and a life that feels truly fulfilling. Number 10 is excessive alcohol consumption or self-medication. As we age, our bodies become increasingly sensitive to what we introduce into them. This includes alcohol, over-the-counter drugs, and even natural remedies. What once seemed harmless, like a nightly glass of wine, a sleeping pill, or something to take the edge off, can start to take a toll on your liver, brain, and overall well-being. Although no one intentionally harms themselves, the habit of relying on quick fixes can gradually evolve into a pattern that negatively impacts both lifespan and quality of life. Alcohol, in particular, has a different effect on older adults. As muscle mass decreases and water retention changes, the body processes alcohol more slowly. A drink that felt mild in your younger years can now have a stronger impact. Reaction times slow, sleep disturbances increase, blood pressure rises, and worst of all, these changes often go unnoticed until they manifest in a fall, memory lapses, or a doctor raising concerns during a checkup. The same applies to sleep aids, painkillers, or anti-anxiety medications when taken without careful oversight. While they may offer temporary relief, prolonged use can cloud your thinking, impair your balance, and strain your organs. Over time, what began as an occasional solution can quietly become a dependency, leaving you feeling more fatigued, mentally foggy, and vulnerable. Choosing to reduce these substances doesn't mean avoiding a glass of wine or necessary medication. Rather, it's about becoming more attuned to what your body is telling you. It's about asking yourself, is this helping me heal or simply helping me avoid? And more often than not, it means exploring alternative ways to relax, like going for a walk, enjoying a warm bath, or having a meaningful conversation, activities that not only soothe but also nourish your body and mind. People who age well tend to use less, not more. They don't rely on substances to control their emotions or force their bodies to rest. Instead, they learn to work with their bodies, honoring their natural rhythms. By making that choice every day, they preserve not just their years, but also their clarity, independence, and joy. So, if you've developed a habit that no longer serves you, it's never too late to step back, reflect, and reassess, not from a place of shame, but from a place of respect. Respect for the life you still have and the health you're striving to protect. Closing thoughts. As we wrap up this video, I encourage you to take a quiet moment and reflect on which of these 10 habits show up most in your life. Which one feels most familiar? Not because it's benefiting you, but because it has become part of the routine that you've stopped noticing. You see, living a long life isn't always about adding more to your day, it's sometimes about removing the things that weigh you down. The patterns that strain your body, the habits that chip away at your health, the actions that take more from you than they give. The beauty of this is that you don't have to change everything all at once. Awareness itself is often the first step toward meaningful change. Maybe today, you decide to move a little more, speak up when you usually hold back, rest when you're feeling tired, or eat without rushing. Perhaps you choose to release just one habit that no longer serves your body, your peace of mind, or your future. The less you engage in what drains you, the more room you create for what truly restores you. And in that space, life doesn't just become longer, it becomes fuller, richer, and more authentically yours. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you'll incorporate it into your life. Your insights are meaningful to us, so please don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments truly motivates and encourages us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.